Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Youth Home Cultural Troupe. Thank you very much, Youth Home Cultural Troupe. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Youth Home Cultural Troupe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Youth Home Cultural Troupe for that amazing performance. And of course, such graceful dance steps by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Jenano Kokwajiman. Indeed, on the 7th of January 2025, we'll be taking those graceful steps into the Jubilee House with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as President of the Republic of Ghana. Inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I would like to invite a man that I admire so much, and of course a man that so many youth across the length and breadth of this country admire so much for his charisma and how youthful and passionate he is when it comes to issues of this country. After being a student leader for several years in the university, he transitioned into mainstream politics, where he rose to become the national youth organizer. The presence of some chiefs that we have in our midst. Of course, we have Tanda Ura Al-Hajj Muhammad Amin is in our midst. Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gents. We also have, ladies and gentlemen, Sanaru Paulana. He's a representative of the Sanaru chief. He's in our midst, ladies and gents. We also have Dungu Wulana Al-Hassan, who is representing the Dunguna. We have Nyala Shena, who's a representative of the Nantona. And we have the Northern Regional Chief Imam as well in our midst, Al-Hajj Abdul Salam, and Lamashana Al-Hajj Ziblim, Lamashana Al-Hajj Ziblim is also in our midst today. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well, as I was saying earlier, I said, after being a student leader for several years in his tertiary educational period, he transitioned into mainstream politics, where he rose to become the national youth organizer of the NDC. Election. Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Mrs. Lodina Mahama, I now can understand why this morning the First Lady to be requested that she wanted the husband to be ushered in with a traditional dance. Little did I know that Excellency had learned his steps. He responded to the beautiful melody of the Lusma. National Chairman of our party, General Secretary, Minority Leader, Campaign Coordinator, Nanuma, I'm standing on behalf of the people of Northern Region. Supported by the local constituency chairman Vito, Alhaji Abdul Rauf Zania, and on behalf
to welcome you all to Tamale. Tamale South Constituency and the UDC is the proud host of this historic, auspicious, momentous occasion to cement the will of the NDC party faithfuls. Nanembejo Excellency Mama Nekana Ompue Kapai. Now only you assembly. Won come kana na only nang abarkanang. My task is a very simple one. To introduce to you the person that the NDC overwhelmingly and massively endorse. To say that it's overwhelming may be an understatement. I can only say a near unanimous 100% declaration for Excellency John Dramani Mahama. That is a manifestation that the leadership and the rank and file of our party across the nation have made a unique pronouncement of their support and solidarity to his bid to the presidency. He comes to the presidency with some unique characteristics. At least for John Dramani Mahama, he is not a sketch. He is a full portrait, not a sketch. He is a full portrait of a leader. And for him, public service is a calling. And he's only come back to lead the NDC to rescue our country, as was described by the national chairman, for the country being run to its lowest ebb. Nana Dankwa and Dr. Bawumia have run this economy to the nadir of economic failure, manifesting in excruciating hardship, manifesting in the destruction of the private sector and businesses. The man to rescue it is a man I'm here to introduce. Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He also comes with 5 important characteristics. Professor Joshua Alabi summarized a few of them. I will add just a few. He comes to this office with character, temperament, integrity, and compassion. Finally returned to the hand. He is not the president who will tell you that there will be no haircut, no thanks to the minority leader. He is not that president. At least he comes to that office with integrity and with character. Following the deception of the new patriotic party government on Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the people of the NDC have spoken, and have spoken loud and eloquently, that they need a rescuer. That rescuer is the person I'm here to introduce, John Dramani Mahama. He is not into this office. He goes back to the office of the president with the extract of the wisdom after self-introspection, having been president and having walked back at their failure, to come and exercise better judgment in the governance of our country. May you now join me with a round of applause and with ovation to welcome Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The speech on behalf of the people of and we should thank the National Executive and the Flag Bearers Office for making UDS and Tamale South the venue for this occasion. Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you may now graciously address the NDC gathering. God bless us all, and may God see him through to be President of our Republic on January 5, 2020.
Today, on the shock our nation, deplorable condition. Ghanaian, how did we get to this point? Wait, doesn't Ghana belong to all of us? And not some few individuals?
You just read my mind.
Must someone come and spoil all that has been built for over 60 years, and we still need to build it again? It's all because of the future of our children and their children, building the Ghana we all want together.
Thank you very much. I wish to begin by thanking the Almighty God for the blessings and favor He has continued to shower on me throughout my entire political career. And I'm guided by the quotation from Romans 8:31. And it says, "What then shall we do? What then shall we say about these things?" And it concludes, "If God be for us, who can be against us?" I want to start by acknowledging the chairman and members of Council of Elders of our great party, to recognize our National Chairman, Ketia, our General Secretary, Fifi Abi-Kwete, and the entire National Executive Committee of our party. I also acknowledge with gratitude my former chairman, Honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, my running mate in the 2020 elections, Honorable Nana Jane Opoku-Agyemang, regional chairmen and regional executives, and all our constituency executives, and especially our kingmakers, the branch executives, supporters and sympathizers of the NDC. And also to recognize our revered traditional leaders. Even though some names were mentioned out of respect, I will just mention a few of them again. And we have Nayab Kogana, Nayab Tolona, my uncle, Nayab Kosulana, who's chairman of our Council of Elders and has done a yeoman's job in uniting the party here in Northern Region. Nayab Nyankpalana, who was recently installed, I wish to congratulate him. Nayab Warbogulana, and my good friend and elder brother from long ago, Nayab Lamashena, Nayab Chogo Na, and the Dakwima of Tamale. I wish to acknowledge all of them. I also wish to acknowledge our minority leader, Honorable Ato Forsen, and to also acknowledge our host and my younger brother, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. With us today, and my fellow countrymen and women, the general viewing and listening public, I want to say thank you very much. I must add very quickly how happy I am to be speaking here at the University for Development Studies, the UDS in Tamale, having earlier launched my campaign at the University for Health and Allied Sciences in Ho, in the Volta region, two universities established by our great political tradition, the NDC. Yesterday, Sunday, 14th May, was Mother's Day. Let me use this opportunity to extend my Mother's Day appreciation to my wife, Lodina Mahama, fellow Akatamansonians, with profound gratitude, I humbly accept to be the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress. To the founder of our party, Jerry John Rawlings, to my late boss and mentor, Professor John Evans Atamils, to my former Vice President, Kwesi Bekwe Emisata, and the many hundreds of our senior comrades who labored to build this political tradition that we have the privilege of leading today. And thank you for your vote of confidence and for your unshaken conviction that I am the most suitable person with the experience and vision to lead our party, the NDC, to victory in 2024. The Ghana we want together. I pledge to lead you to a resounding victory come December 2024. Let me, on your behalf and on my own behalf, acknowledge the contribution of Dr. Kwabena Dufo, former mayor of Kumasi, Kojo Bonsu, and Mr. Ernest Kobia, for what they have done towards enhancing the internal democratic systems of our party. I also wish to thank the staff of the Electoral Commission for their support in making our parliamentary and presidential primaries a resounding success. My special thanks go to Mr. Strebo Kweku and his district election directors for working over and above the call of duty to ensure a successful election. To you, the kingmakers of the NDC, I say thank you for electing me with as resounding 297,603 votes, which constitutes 98.9% of the total valid votes cast. This margin of victory is deafening and emphatic and resounding, and it is indicative of the unwavering singular intent of the NDC to win the 2024 election. As I crisscross the length and breadth of this country, clocking about 13,000 kilometers, I was reminded at every stage of the journey of the enormity of the job that is ahead of us. I accept this onerous responsibility placed on my shoulders with absolute humility and a deep sense of respect for the tough tasks that lie ahead in resetting our beloved nation Ghana to one that allows us to regain our lost glory. Ours is a nation that led the decolonization process in Africa, a nation held up as the model of democracy and governance in Africa, a nation of prudence in the management of its economy and resources. This victory is not about me, John Dramani Mahama. It is about our people and the creation of a society that allows our citizens to live a decent and dignified life. It is about expanding access to health care so that our mothers and sisters will not lose their lives carrying out their biological duty of procreation. It is about the little children whose promising future is cut short because of a dangerous boat crossing in search of an education. It is also about managing our economy and finances in a manner that does not require us to appropriate the lifetime investments of our retired senior citizens and the middle class. This victory is about raising security and investments and funds for future generations, and not just for spending in a day. It is about restoring trust once again in our institutions and engendering love and pride in the name Ghana. But first we must win the elections in 2024. And that will require from all of us hard work and winning the trust of the people of Ghana. The NDC and Ghana's interests must therefore continue to guide and bind us all together as one people from one great family. From today, right here in the hall of the University of Development Studies, I declare that the internal competition for the flag bearership position is over. You have chosen experience with vision over experiment, and I'm confident that in December 2024, Ghanaians will make that choice that puts us back on the path of building the Ghana we want together. We must flip the coin from competition to cooperation. We need cooperation to build a better Ghana and a better NDC. I'm therefore calling for cooperation among all elected parliamentary candidates and your aspirants and supporters. Incumbent members of parliament who lost their primaries must also keep their heads up. You remain heroes for the good job you have done and continue to do. We need your experience and talents for the onerous job that faces us when the good people of Ghana give us a mandate to steer the affairs of this country once more. Above all, we need you in the remaining 1.5 years of your parliamentary mandate to carry out your duties in Parliament with dedication and commitment to safeguard the interests of the Ghanaian people. And I wish to assure you that I intend to meet with these MPs at the earliest possible opportunity. I wish to assure you that you are still assets of the party, and we shall make use of the talents and experience that you have garnered. The party needs you and will continue to rely on you as we seek to win election 2024 and change the destiny of the suffering people of Ghana. We must remain one solid family. Let me emphasize and urge all of us as members of the NDC to rededicate ourselves, commit our energies and resources to work hard to win 2024. I assure you of my open-mindedness, my open door policy, and my commitment to run a government that will be based on merit and competence. Let me reaffirm my unshaken commitment to offer the needed support to our parliamentary candidates and all constituencies to make certain that we secure a healthy majority in the next parliament. What this means for our party is that we must conclude the outstanding parliamentary elections as soon as possible so that we can focus our resources on the campaign for the upcoming national elections. I assure you that together with the National Chairman, the General Secretary, and other executives, we will plan and campaign very vigorously with clear objectives and strategic outcomes. We owe it as a duty to our country to do so, and we shall. On this note, as I dissolve my innovative, hard-working, and successful campaign coordinating team led by Professor Joshua Alabi, I wish to thank the team, my staff, my security, the media, the NDC regional chairman, regional and constituency campaign teams, and of course my wife Lodina, my children, and my siblings, some of whom are here. Stand up, let them see you. Thank you. Thank you. And my siblings, and all others who were on this journey with me. I can never repay you for your generosity, dedication, and love for me and for our country, Ghana. Let's hold on to hope. Ladies and gentlemen, we must urgently commence building the Ghana we want together, because our dear nation Ghana is sailing through perilous seas. Our socio-economic foundation as a nation has in the last few years not only been threatened, but has been fractured and dislocated. Corruption and the raid on the public purse have come to a crescendo. The rights of citizens, including journalists, no longer matter to this government. In the last 2 years, Ghana has dropped on the Press Freedom Index. Our National Health Insurance Scheme is comatose. The scheme is starved of funds by the government capping policy and the refusal to release proceeds of the National Health Insurance Levy to the National Health Insurance Authority. Patients are faced with an empty scheme that only ensures retrieval of their medical folders and consultation. Even basic drugs, such as analgesics, cough mixtures, and antibiotics, must be purchased by patients themselves from the drugstores. For the first time in our history, retirees and the middle class are facing the existential threat to their survival and financial stability due to gross mismanagement of our economy by a grossly inept finance minister and economic management team. For the first time in known memory, newborn babies are unable to access the full complement of their childhood vaccines. Yet these newborns and the younger generation also face the heavy burden of inheriting a suffocating national debt, which stands at almost 600 billion Ghana cedis, the equivalent of over 100% of our GDP. Only a fortnight ago, the government recalled members of parliament, and the main purpose for this recall was to approve a further $710 million, more debt to compound the already choking national debt. Ladies and gentlemen, the lack of vision and prospects by government is patently discomforting. And that is why we have no option but to win election 2024. This is to reset our country on a path of transformation for progress and prosperity. I come to you, the good people of Ghana, and I say there's hope for our country. That hope will emanate from our very selves as a resilient nation, a people with a passionate appetite for progress and prosperity, a people capable of rising from the ashes of catastrophe like a phoenix to build a stronger and smarter nation to serve our needs and wants. This hope also springs from a leadership that is willing to accept responsibility and fix the problems rather than pass the buck. A leadership that is honest and does not lie to its people. A leadership that is consultative and willing to build a consensus in solving the challenges that confront Ghanaians in their daily lives. I have an unshakable conviction. I believe and I know Ghana shall rise again. My vision for our beloved Ghana aligns with your expectations for a better Ghana, one that we're going to build together. Beyond my vision, ladies and gentlemen, our Constitution also gives us hope. It creates the foundation for a fourth Republican democracy, a democratic dispensation that is still the best form of government and which we must guard and protect. Because, however abysmal and appalling the performance of a government is, the people have an opportunity to make a change at the next election. Clearly, the Akufo-Addo and Bawumia NPP administration has failed to meet the expectations of the Ghanaian people, and they must prepare to bow out at the next election. And they must start preparing their handing over notes. And get ready to account to the people of Ghana for their stewardship. Yes, there's hope for our country. I firmly believe in our collective ability as a party to lead a transformation agenda that restores decent values, revives youthful aspirations and ambitions. Ours will be a progressive government that provides equal opportunities for decent and sustainable livelihoods. I'm convinced that by working together with Ghanaians, we shall turn Ghana's hopelessness and gloom today into a better and brighter tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, let me dwell a bit on the destructive elephant in the room, which is the economy. Literally and figuratively, the government's economic management team has displayed grave incompetence, mismanaged Ghana's economy, and inflicted severe hardships on Ghanaians, including the elderly and the young. Ghanaians now know the address of the so-called solid economic management team, in quotes. The chairman and members of this economic management team have become the butt of jokes in people's homes, in the marketplaces, in restaurants, on social media, and on the airwaves because of their misguided commentaries both in opposition and government. As a leader, your word should always be truthful. It should be sincere and honest. It should count for something. If you're not truthful, you lose the trust of the people. Prices of goods and services continue to see extreme increases with devastating effects on the livelihood of Ghanaians. The price trends reflect the inflationary increase from 15.4% in December 2016 to over 40% presently. Unfortunately, as inflation rises, employment has not improved but has worsened. The growth rate of the agricultural sector, which was 2.7% in 2016, despite all the sloganeering, was a paltry 0.7% in 2022. The manufacturing sector, which stood at 7.9% in 2016, dipped to 4.5% in 2022. And the construction sector has gone down from 8.4% in 2016 to 4.2% in 2022. What has happened to the unprecedented resources that have accrued to the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government since 2017? No government in our fourth republic has had the sheer amount of resources that have been made available to this particular government. And yet they have been unrelenting in hiding the truth. The fact, however, remains that by March 2020, a pre-COVID era in Ghana, the national debt had already increased by 100 billion within 3 short years. And this shows a steep rise from the 120 billion in 2016 to 225 billion in 2019. Indeed, the budget deficit of 7.5% recorded in 2018 had at that time exceeded the legally accepted threshold of 5%. Ladies and gentlemen, the combined effect of the critical economic indices before COVID-19 and after COVID-19 points to one truth. the immutable truth is that the NPP has blatantly mismanaged the economy of this country. And we cannot allow them to continue holding Ghana's progress in reverse gear. Ghana is not for a few people alone. Ghana is for all of us and generations yet unborn. As I said, we must rise like the phoenix, rising from the ashes, renew, reform, and liberate ourselves from this misrule on December 7th, 2024. And this is why I'm running for president in 2024. And this is why you voted massively for me on Saturday, May 13th, 2024. I've proposed a raft of measures and referred the government to our NDC 2020 manifesto for policy alternatives. These measures still apply today because we are neck deep in an economic crisis. The first thing, government must take responsibility for this messy economy arising from its reckless borrowing and mismanagement of the country. This is going to be one of the immediate actions of my government, God willing, when voted into office. I'll lead a process to set a standardized limit for public borrowing. Government has refused to cut expenditure by reducing the size of government and adjusting the compensation and allowances of appointees and profligate expenditure. The president is rather appointing more people and continuing to recklessly overspend. Only recently, he appointed a CEO for mortuaries and funerals. John Mahama and NDC government will respond to the concerns of the Ghanaian people proactively and drastically cut down on the number of ministers and other government appointees. There will be no room for wasting the taxpayers' money on the comforts of government officials. The NDC will reconsider the tax exemption regime, ensuring that any exemptions that are given are beneficial to the Ghanaian people. We'll further ensure that the extractive sector operates within a mutually beneficial tax environment for the stability of our exchange rate. We'll seek to make Ghana benefit more from its finite natural resources and will encourage indigenously owned Ghanaian businesses that have the technology and capacity to operate their own productive mining concessions by themselves to do so. We have done it before and we will do it again. Together with my team, we will enhance investor confidence in our country to attract credible domestic and foreign investors, especially in the manufacturing and light industry sector. This we will do by being transparent and not concealing economic data, such as the budget deficit, public debt, and our net international reserve. Even as we await the board of the International Monetary Fund's approval for Ghana's requested bailout by the end of May or June this year, we expect that the finance minister will urgently present a mid-year review budget to Parliament, which would include any agreements they might have reached with the fund, and also one that critically cuts down government expenditure. The 2023 budget and financial statement presented to Parliament last November currently is riding on stilts with no stability. And this is why I insist government must immediately, upon approval of Ghana's program by the fund, review the 2023 budget to reflect the realities of our economic situation today. My fellow Akatamonsonians, fellow countrymen and women, unemployment is a national security crisis today. Unemployment is at its highest level in the history of Ghana. And what must be done to help in ameliorating the challenge has not been done. From January 2025, the next NDC administration will work to transform our economy, diversify our exports, ensure value addition to our production to create more jobs. Agriculture and agribusiness shall be one of the key anchors of our economic transformation plan. We will launch a program akin to the Operation Feed Yourself and Feed Your Industries program of the early 1970s. This is geared to make Ghana self-sufficient in basic staples and curb unnecessary imports. We will seek to make indigenous entrepreneurs capture, in quotes, the commanding heights of the Ghanaian economy. In our previous stint in government, we sought to achieve this by strategically prioritizing the Tamni irrigation project, rehabilitating the Via and Tono irrigation projects, all in the Upper East region. We supported the Avnash rice processing factory here in Yankpala in the northern region. We provided fish storage facilities along the entire coastline of Ghana, and we prepared the Commander Sugar Factory for takeoff in the central region, amongst others. In the non-agricultural sector, the Wakang ceramic factory, which came alive in the western region, and the Savannah cement factory are but a few of the examples of employment opportunities we created when we were in office. And remember, we also injected 51 million Ghana cedis into the pharmaceutical sector for expansion and job creation. And our foresight became a windfall when COVID-19 struck our shores. Let me restate what I said in Ho during the launch of my campaign for flag bearer. I said we shall promote robust local participation in our banking and financial, telecommunications, tourism, mining, agribusiness, and manufacturing sectors to grow our economy and create sustainable employment for our youth. We will restore indigenous Ghanaian investment in the financing and banking sector. And we will create a tiered banking system that will serve various segments of the market. We will give the opportunity for experienced banking hands who were laid off and needlessly to secure their careers once more and move away from the menial jobs that they were compelled to take. As far as practicable, the banking licenses that were unjustly cancelled by this government will be restored. Ladies and gentlemen, our nation is still at a crossroads with crippling debts and an inefficient and wasteful government. We cannot continue this pathway. It is a betrayal of our people as a leader to keep doing things the same way when the results leave them poorer. I am committed to operating an effective government with no more than 60 ministers. These ministers, together with other appointees of the government, will not be entitled to ex gratia payments after their tenure. As I will make them commit to that undertaking even before the necessary constitutional amendments, including a review of the controversial Article 71, is carried out. I share the view that Ghanaians in the diaspora must no longer have to renounce their foreign citizenship before they can stand for elections or hold public office in Ghana. I personally believe that most of them make up for their absence with the remittances that they send. And definitely if conditions improve, a lot of them will return home to work here in Ghana. In fact, some Ghanaians in the diaspora have proven to be extremely beneficial to our country. Take, for instance, Professor FRIMPONG of the Cardiothoracic Center, FAME, who returned from Germany to establish the Cardio Center and has saved. Since the professor's return, he has contributed his significant bit in medicine and in politics. And only recently, an Al Jazeera documentary accusing President Akufo-Addo and his government of organized crime in collusion with a foreigner, it also emerged that the heart surgeon had 2 years ago boldly exposed the duplicity of the MPP government in the fight against Galamsey. His report has opened a can of worms, which I know this president, in his usual manner, will sweep under the carpet, just as many corruption scandals have been cleared by who is called the clearing agent. We shall pursue this matter further and make sure that justice is done. The truth is that this government cannot just wish away the reality that Ghana is not looking good on the Corruption Perception Index of Transparency International. The president no longer makes corruption a pet topic in any of his speeches because corruption has defeated him hands down. The government's baited to suppress press freedoms and an inordinate clampdown of civil activists, including even members of parliament who dare to expose corruption. And let me assure you, as I stated in Gary in the Upper East during my campaign tour, that I will adopt a robust root and branch approach to fighting corruption. Because corruption is a major source through which state resources are lost. It will not matter whether people in the corruption are our own people or from some other party. We will continue the constitution review process commenced by President John Evans Atta of blessed memory, and we will carry it to its logical conclusion. This will help to plug the loopholes and clarify some clauses in our constitution and make it responsive to our current reality. My fellow Tamansonians, Ayezu, Ayeza, Ehejo, MFA, hey, thank you. I began by thanking you, my party delegates, for voting massively for me on Saturday. And I promise that I will fulfill every promise I made to you during my visits to your constituencies.
Special Ice Natural Mineral Water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
So just about 30 minutes to 4. In the studios, Alhaji Nasiru Muhammad of the NDC, Chairman Solomon Asante of the MPP, former chairman of the Amasama constituency. John Dramani Mahama, and I accept a voter, NDC for vote the man, a Tamale South, in the Tamale Northern region. do kind na inspiration bi or alaji.
You didn't share some Bobema TFO. I'm saying it's pretty obvious. The
Inspiration bi or.
And I mean, it's pretty obvious. Obia to me who inspiration no ewo say what touch obi biara Ghana for person mutie. And what to me edia to ho. Adeɛ baako kɛseɛ paa me de ɔtaakye ɛma akoma tɔ miem the issue of corruption sɛ ɔno deɛ fiti ntene no ɛbɛpem edua no yɛmfɛ sɛ branches ne ahaban no a ɛwɔ dua no ho nyinaa ɛfa corruption ho ɔno ɔbɛko etia saa na ɔbɛko etia corruption for sometimes now yɛn nyinaa yɛnim sɛnea corruption adokre aban a ewo aban power ene na omu nyina nso ayedi maintained for the past 1 year say yewura president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo akogina bibi akasa wie aka corruption ho asem saa nso na maintained for the past 1 year obi a on kan kire me say the vice president Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia to akogina bibi akasa wie aka corruption ho asem emom ye nyina ye dim say na wo opposition no ntumi nkasa miensa wabra on kasa onka on touch on 3 topics wabra on fa corruption yanka ho nti ne eba ne say na wo nyina adwane free corruption ho wo mo aye kasa wo mo be economy ho nsensem ene wo mo soro wo mo say digital ni digitization nipa o ka say obekun atia corruption for ene kata hye te say tania anas ekuntia proye ne kata hyehyɛ no ene ama wo atra wo me no wo kasa yi South Africa started investigation into the gold for oil deal na efa sa young man now asama Al Jazeera de betu dwama wiase afode nyina ye hu ye President Nana Danko Akufo ya body din wo mu ya po Ghana aban no din wo mu se wo mo so ka ho nhyehyɛ ya na wo ye ebepem ne otiwo oni sankofo ne ku wabra South Africa start investigation nti why already say obeku ante ye nyina nso anim say proye ne katahyehyɛ na ye de be Ghana I was say ye independent any say ye kokko sresika ono na ne o sresika no kwa yemfa man ya pam ya every ye say international money market I so enye nsam keke esan say wa ye bida ama Ghana fo ehu nti there is no option Ghana has no option say ye pese aba na ye tre my Ghana no India then ye few people are ye de mo aba mu a no be fa bibia to mu so esi mu so na proye ne kata hyehyɛ kan ko bibia proye ne kata hyehyɛ na ya tre na waba abedi ade na yetumi hu at least if for nothing at all ye hu proye aticha no three but when ka ya boya na ya kafa enne oman Ghana mu ye ama yare yan kitten ade a ye koto And we taxes na we have insurance for the area come out. Tax can so and also what na so
John Mahama say we corrupt or corrupt no. When self introspection be a Ebema Mahama etimi aka corruption asem.
na nye corruption asem na aka no. What for the past 1 year.
Haruna can say Mahama ye self introspection and also but Mahama kasa no would not to see attributes of such self introspection.
Oh, clearly. One of them, the fact is, you know, Yabegia to Muse, I was say, ye BB, FA, government appointees. One also, Kase, or born homebody. This what to me see in the book, Kase, or the ministers 60, and a bay Jumani Nekaho. Ama what your friends say, government appointees, and also, Ama what to me. Even with the 60 ministers before I found one air quapam. Before I met crown, even before I met me, I changed constitution. To me, ama one more. I to me, ama abane say, ye jumanwa, ubi anji S grasha, send a bear Ghana for Sikaka cano. It me bought home buying, Eddie Bibima, a cowbia. Self retrospective enough. Contrary to the about now or by any appointments I didn't think he served with 60 ministers. No, or served with more than 60 ministers. So there's all kinds of overtake wamuso ama otisu crowns who we are on side mawamu as grasha. I think it's self retrospective enough.
Okay. Chairman Solomon Asante.
Metie ba medika asha sefi memenda maboni tiwa abesi ene speech memenda no ye nyame adom omutimi compromise ma eko wie say John Dramani Mahama na emerge as the flag bearer na some of the parliamentary aspirants MPs ebinim ntimi enya ebinim zunya I think over 16 or 17 of them no omo ntimi retain one seat biom omo munya ye mo trinkwa omo enya so no there's always a better luck next time. That's how your friend is abattoir tie besides say season where you John Dramani Mahama win ye budget so to say you are not seeing that euphoria in the system. They're not seriously because the question that people keep asking when John Dramani Mahama they are when is he the one that was one referred to as the incompetent one, the T10? John Mahama they president na doma to Obama na yesu frejuma na ebi ni opo was kasapa on because I'm not a magician and look at the worst of a leader president. That was very awful. Is it the same year John Dramani Mahama said Before by means of bribe. No, you couldn't answer to the whole word. I may be a mockery of you in the country here. This the same. Flag bearer nanka who say yes jamboree I'm for any say you are not seeing such. Let's come to today's nkomo obedi yen. Any nkomo obedi yen no. O see okay can say me o see they have chosen experiment over experience because handy over news. Your handy over news.
And I am sure.
Me yemo sheme. They are handy sincere, must be sincere and honest. And I maybe say, you put us a question. I say, here
the Bull Anyidoho describes AMO register as fake and describes the victory as fake. And John Dramani Mahama bask in a fake victory.
Well, Koko Anyidoho will not respond to him because when you're a member of the party, so in America, it will be a free party. Into Okasa, where then I will correspond. Certainly, Okasa, he speaks with his own biases. But the issue now, work on Kakran, and is a minu someone walking. Wakika and Sembe, Ena John Mahama say, Ena John Mahama say, Ena Boy, Ena Katashi say, Mene Eka say, Donamani Mahama be the Adieda. Alamwa, Efri Akunyaso. One be the idea, this is the 7th year. The Mahama will corruption be Wahua. And by now, what started his investigation? Emo Mene Woka say, mo 7 years, Rumunye, or Mampenini in the bush. Were under investigation and men who akasas amwako several investigation of corruption men who ekasa one penny na nado ne nebusuafo anye hwe kurasi si a men who kasa gabi ochire dako eka woni o mo ko yoko to go and answer the gold advisor FRIMPONG wanting allegations na what they two so ana report no dey make yoko na so ka one ya invite you
when I invite
you invite FRIMPONG wanting.
Oh, yes, sure.
FRIMPONG what you are inviting. And I have seen your best. Debbie. You correct. Say one fan report. Embra. Name some of the kind. That's all come.
And your police. And
so come. We didn't come.
Let's say be actual report. Me inviting no. Now be doing one report moving into no technically I inviting no.
They do. But ADAKABRI say wo and a waha when I wear the head of Yoko. Now me match your reporter in that here manfo. Now see o buy wo ewojuman wo nso betimi ahwe mu bi. Ntime mfa report ne mbra. Na memwa na wo
no offer wo kan say me represent company bi no. Ono no na ye fe na kobusa ne den.
Oh they be that
Ekoba na ni abri ya open retraction ni ade no. Ni nyina mu no.
Police for investigation.
Omu eduru on ma ye involve no ye beti omonka. But for now. Dramani Mahama bringing aboard.
What and I say the sincerity and your friends say
sincerity na betu your bills.
Of course, sincerity na betu your bills because the only sincere so muna yetumi push your mind no akompempen so a edi sika ne bebra o obetumi de etua bills no won will be there for the counter at ADAKABRI wo ye panyin a wo so wo kasa no eye sacrosanct
Joshua Allah Ghana akọ relegation John Dramani Mahama or the wherewithal so we be free relegation by premiership
what then relegation no and on economic situation I wo mu me no kasa yi John Dramani Mahama na be say men all kasa no wan kasa nwie antro ka kire o say wokọ mpoano fiti axim ebedu Volta regional wabọ ne ho mbọden edi bibia esi ho ye veze kese ne fish processing company a ye de beto central region ni nyina no anko da so ewo ho ne a ya expand no ama wo mu nyina no ne wo mu nkọ afrafo no nkọ fish na emba wo mu be ka che say problem wo ho a wo mu anya fish anasa fish na de baaye no so yentumi am preserve ma ni nyina asai o free ho Commander Sugar Factory ewo ho wan kan keke osan so e de nyoma bebre ahowro bebre
relegation by premiership Baby, I say a dre. If you have to believe you say baby, I say a dre. No, obey me a year for doldrums. No,
in a very easy. One of the things that Yanjira and Cranny and to Tun Cranny. And I'm what? Indeed, the Yanjira. Na Yanjira. Definitely it cannot be done. In Telebama Bufufo, the Papufo. We understand. That is the advantage on the man Mahama is coming with.
Chairman, so
that is the advantage.
That no,
but the value is the same. Ghana's inflation is 41.2%, so I'm correcting him on that.
I'm watching.
And I'm correcting him.
MPP.
What?
What catch rage on the man Mahama say we are incompetent. Now inflation. ASN.
Masa. Incompetence na me. It is 41.